Thank you for listening to the Moonlight Lounge, and I want to share some thoughts about what I've seen on YouTube and all internet searches about love. I've seen a lot of love coaching, and it's all great. There's a lot of coaching when you're just getting used to the idea of going out and dating. I encourage people to do the coaching part because it helps you walk through maybe some things that you might have questions about. But all these how-to videos, which I think applies to relationships and love, experiencing that. One thing I think a lot of people are not getting, it's not about sexual love. Please don't think I'm trying to go there. But there's a love that just pours over you. And when it pours out on you, it's not quite like anything I've ever experienced. It's the kind of love when you feel like you've fallen into a cloud. I haven't experienced anything like this before, so I'm going to share it. But it's a peace, a joy I can't describe. I know some people, if you're hurting over a broken heart, one of the prayers I think is just praying to have that healing. And when this love comes over you, it's the kind of love that it's almost impossible to share in a physical sense. A bond, a connection is the starting point. But once you fall into a deeper level of love, it's life-changing. And there's not enough how-to videos to describe it, because I don't think once you experience this kind of love, it's not the kind of love to me, it's the kind of love that only a married couple or somebody that's in love with you will experience, and you have to introduce God into it, because He's the source of this type of love. It's not something you've ever seen on video. I don't think you'll ever see it in porn. But it's a kind of love that is just liquid. It's the only way I can explain is liquid love. And I searched the internet. I searched my heart and soul about when you do something so right in life. God is so good. And I always want you guys and girls to understand, when you're praising God and you get into a lifestyle, a habit of really following and walking with Him, when it happens, it is an amazing experience. I don't have words for it. I'm going to take a break here. We'll be back after this, more about love. If you would like to support our work, go to Patreon, search for the Court of Public Opinion. Please help us sponsor a program that we're trying to introduce by helping people educate their kids about issues today. By you supporting us at the Court of Public Opinion, we can help address maybe some concerns, and doing it this way. We know how important it is to discuss today's issues with our kids, and this is one of those ways, this methods to break the ice between you and your kids. Support us at Patreon. Back to the topic on love. It's incredible. There's a lot of things we got to outgrow. Insecurities, things like that, you overcome over a period of time as you grow into love with someone, which I look at God as that ever-presence. You know it's God. You know it's God. There's no other way to explain it. And when you fall deeper in love with somebody, it's a different experience. It's not the same kind of love you would have for somebody on a sexual level. Intimacy, all those things I think are just like barriers you have to get through, because I think when you become so connected to somebody, that longing starts to grow stronger, and it starts to take over. And I must say, after all the videos, all the things, I know some of us, we had to outgrow some things. I mean, over my lifetime, I've learned a lot of hard lessons about relationships. This isn't that at all. I'd say most people that are in relationships, once you find that person, or once you feel you've reached that point, you're not going to be thinking about the same standard relationships as you would before. And that doesn't make me an expert. It just shows that that bond just grows stronger and stronger. And the reason people fall in love is not because of the legal, moral, ethical things. That might be it, but if it's about that, then it's really not about love. You really haven't experienced God's love, and that need for human connection and raising a child and having a baby. To me, it takes on a whole new, it definitely takes on a life. I was observing how couples are together and how they share so many unique qualities that once they really are taken in by the experience, they realize that their children share the same physical attributes that you share with that one person. And to me, it's like writing a whole new chapter. Every time you experience the love of your children and the love of the people you have in your life, and you look at that one person that it embodies so much your soul. And I was just thinking how deep that becomes, because you're allowing yourself to deepen that love. Because when two people are surrendered over to each other, love and God and all the constraints are taken away from you. All the problems outside of life, it changes the character of your life. It changes how you live your life, how you think about things. And then all of a sudden, your world just changes. It doesn't happen in a way. There's a lot of hesitation, because if you're not in the right relationship with God and that person, you have to wait. And one of the hardest things to do is wait. But when you start to experience the love, and it's something that starts to take over, and you're taking it in, and you're getting to the point where you're building up that trust and that bond. I don't know. I have been in situations where I didn't know what it felt like to be in the arms of somebody I loved, and when I experienced it, it was like something. I mean, it was heavenly. And there are just some experiences that once you have it, it doesn't. A lot of people ask me, like, well, how could you have met this person? I do believe people are destined to meet. I knew it. I knew it. When I mean, there was all kinds of hints everywhere throughout my life that by the time I saw him, I knew. I just knew. It's just a lot of things had to get worked out, and that's called reality. But the other part of that reality was the love part. And there's a lot to overcome. And there's a lot to sort out. But when it starts to take over your life, it's like, okay, in a way, because I don't know about you, but the people I've been around, that's the last thing they're thinking about is falling in love. The last thing they're thinking about is they're busy trying to keep their life together. But over time, that love the need grows stronger, and it's not just passion, but it's big. It's big love. I have to say, there's a lot of things, a lot of people, like I said, when it comes to courtship and dating, you want to make sure you get all those things right, because once the love takes over, I hope we all got the right things out of the way, because that's what you're going to start experiencing. You want to get as much of those things out of the way. And if you're doing it correctly, you want to make sure that you've built a plan and had, figure out your finances. Make sure you're prepared, because by the time you meet that person, you're not going to be thinking about all those things. You're going to want to spend time together and build that relationship. And that relationship built over time, you don't want a lot of things interrupting it. That's what I'm saying. And there's a lot of things I think about what I've done online, what I've done in my personal life, working. And once once you've put those things aside to make time for that one person, you're not going to want a whole lot of other distractions, meaning that over a period of time, we start to change our lifestyle. And we know we're moving things aside, and working to me is secondary. What I'm sharing with you, I hope is significant, because I don't know that I'll ever have a time to do this. And as I know that internet is changing and things are changing, less and less likely to be online, I'm going to want to devote more time to those people in my life. So I've devoted over 10 years, and I said that was as much as I could do. And every once in a while, I think this is really what I wanted to spend my time, is creating the love that I wanted and needed in my life, so that the time would come that when it was time to move forward and go the next level in the relationship, especially right now, because I'm ready to make the next move. And your career starts to take a second, it starts to go secondary. And there's a lot of things I've done over the last couple months, especially, that I really enjoy. But when you start to make a commitment, and the commitment is going to the next level, these things start to take a back seat. And I know that it's happening, and I'm excited. I've kind of waded through some hard times, and I have to tell you, when you start to experience it, you're not going to put a lot of things, you're not going to be putting your job in. Your job isn't going to be the most important thing. It's going to be priority, but it's not important. When you think in terms of what God does in our life, He prepares us for, I believe, for marriage. He prepares us for a long-term commitment. And anyone else that has gone through the immature stuff of like being sexually attracted, I honestly think a lot of people are going to experience a lot of sexual attraction in their young years and their teenagers. Hopefully for them, they learn right away it's sexual attraction, because young teenagers, hormones and things like that, it can definitely be deceiving. And a lot of people, I know what it feels like to be infatuated too. And there's a lot of heartache in that. I just hope for the teenagers out there that just don't give it up, just wait. I have to tell you, this is a love that, if it's worth waiting for. It really is. And there's not a lot of books written about this kind of love. The only one I know is it's in the Bible, and it's beautiful. It's the kind of love that I hope more people get to experience. That's why we're sharing it.